Hello, Heroclix land. Welcome back to Talkn Clix, where we celebrate the heroes of Heroclix. I am your host, Wespool. With me, as always, my trusty companion, Scott the Missing Link. Hello, Scott.
Hi, guys.
We have a very special episode for you tonight. Who is our special guest tonight?
Tonight we have Mr. Drew Warren.
Hello, Drew.
Howdy. Nice to be here.
So the number one question on America's mind is, if your mortal enemy's mother's name was the same as yours, would you stop killing him because your mothers share the same first name?
Are you watching Batman and Superman?
Do I have a secret identity, or is this like public knowledge that I know who my mom is?
No, that's not public knowledge. He just announces it as you're beating the snot out of him.
Then I'd probably have to stop just to make sure he's not an evil mastermind, because there's a non-zero chance that he knows something I don't know, and I can't risk that.
I couldn't sleep the other night, and I was binge watching a bunch of honest trailers, and it got to Batman vs. Superman, and I can't get over how bad that scene is. Like, it is just a terrible plot point. It's a poorly executed scene. It's the epitome of what we've been sitting around for 3 hours waiting on. It lasts 8 minutes, and it's over because they share the same first name. It's so stupid.
Okay. Just to point fun at something, and there's a YouTube channel that I watch called His He or Hi She. I don't know what it is. But at the end of each episode, what's that?
How it should have ended.
Yes, How It Should Have Ended is what it's titled, but it's His He or Hi She or whatever. Anyway, at the end of it, there's Batman and Superman in a coffee shop. They're always sitting down, and then they just break down. Like, they'll have the Marvel characters come into the coffee shop and break it down, whatever the movie was, the plot holes. It's just fun and funny. But yeah, they definitely dive into Martha.
And the whole movie is so intense, so dramatic, and it reminds me of the Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin. And it just spat in the face of everything that they've been building up to that you were excited about, and they just ran it off as this pun, this joke, this gag, and it just ruined it. Ugh.
But hey, you just spoiled a movie for somebody that hasn't seen it yet. Good job, Wes.
Yeah, it's only been 12 years.
Maybe. Probably not 12.
It's like saying I spoiled what's that Bruce Willis movie?
Sixth Sense?
Sixth Sense, yeah. If you don't know the ending of Sixth Sense by now, I'm sorry.
You might just not be a Haley Joel Osment fan.
I still don't know what happens at Titanic, okay?
Scott's so, history a lot.
Drew, it's nice to meet you. Tell us a little about yourself. Are you married? Do you have kids?
I'm 30. I've been playing since Age of Ultron Storyline OP event. I showed up to the mall, saw Clix, and I was like, okay, what is this? Bought a brick of Flash, the Avengers Fast Forces, where they all had either Empower or Enhancement if you played them with each other. And then in the brick, I managed to get a Black Lantern Prime. Told Scott, hey, I'm interested in playing. And by next week, he had like set me up with everything I needed. I am unmarried, last I checked. So if the law has some differences on that, they might need to let me know. I got a brother of mine in Minnesota who likes the game, but past that is just me and the Houston crew, because I am out here local with Scott.
Okay.
So he's got a bunch of children at the shop.
We have to educate them. They must learn.
I still need educating sometimes. So do you sometimes.
Yeah, I am the store judge, to be fair. And I am right more times than I'm wrong.
Yeah, but those wrong ones are like super wrong. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, you can use this trick arrow and then go big and have Scott Porter just do ultimate damage.
Until they ruled it differently, because there were two minds on that. One of which was PJ Bolin saying it worked this way, and then other people were saying it worked the other way. It was something like it was Adam Friedman as an example. And then by the end, we're like, hey, official ruling is this. I was like, hey, Scott, turns out official ruling has turned into this. Go team.
Yeah, Scott Porter can't do 48 clicks of damage in one turn.
It's like 16.
I don't know.
found
It was a ton.
I used to be really bad with the rules. I didn't. It was so much to memorize. I couldn't keep the nuances straight, and the specific wording would throw me off if it was just one syllable off or something. And so I'm used to being wrong all the time. But here recently, I have been right more times than I've been wrong. But I just assume I'm wrong if I'm in a debate with somebody about a ruling, even if I'm right. Like, I just have no confidence in saying, no, I know this is right, and we need to call somebody to verify that, but I know I'm right, and I have no confidence in that.
One of our last big hiccups with Drew and I was the Wakandan Hulkbuster, probably, I don't know, 8 months ago. And I acquiesced. I'm like, okay, it's whatever you said it was, one per person or whatever. And a week later, the errata came out saying, nope, it's one for the entire team. I'm like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Got
100%.
one again.
I was like, there's no way they made it work this way. And then they came out and they're like, Scott Johnson is correct. You are stupid. And I was like, thank you, official rules forum. That's fair.
The big one I just ran into today actually is the Gauntlet Spider-Man. Says that when he snaps his fingers and erases your sideline and ends all durations, it was ruled that this game is a duration, so it ends this game effects. I was told that that is not the case. This game is not something that he ends. It's literally this game, and nothing would interrupt that. And then they ruled it differently on the win. And I talked to my head judge at the Red, White, and Clix about it. He's like, yeah, it's always been that way. No, it has not. I was told very incorrectly at events, and I argued it the right way, and they told me I was wrong. And I just assumed, well, they're the judge, so who am I to argue? And I was right the whole time.
I just went ahead and pulled him up. He does specify game elements affected by sideline elements. So any like this game sideline actives go away. But if it was like this game that was mainboarded, that stays. So like Dream, for instance, if you were to KO a Dream and then Spider-Man gets KO'd himself, Dream's secondary trait lets him re-roll once a turn. That maintains.
So I remember it being an issue with the Herald Gods that like Khonshu gives prop, and that prop is this game.
But it's a sideline active. That's what they get you on because it specifies in the durations of any effects created by the removed sideline elements. Is the exact wording. Like I pulled it up. Like I am not perfect, but I make sure to like grab the cards, read through them, and do stuff like that. Because if I'm going to say something, I like to make sure that what I'm saying is correct as much as I can. It's one of the rules chats on Facebook where the rule is like always quote the things that you're referencing, and I'm like, you're correct. If you can't pull up in a rule page, it's not as useful when you can't show someone where to find the information.
Yes, 100%.
All right, so I'm just gonna say shameless plug. Where do you play, Drew?
Alter Ego in Baytown, Texas. That's where we are every Monday at 7 o'clock. Sometimes a little early, sometimes a little later. But it's always a good time, and it's always got the best people because me and Scott are there.
Proper English would be Scott and I.
Well, you are in the South, so English doesn't matter down there, right?
That's done true. I'll tell you that right now. Mm-hmm.
But we're far enough south where kissing your sister is not legal.
Correct.
Now, you're the 10th Texan I've had on the show, and nobody has that Southern drawl accent.
I went to college.
It's because we don't all ride horses.
I am part cowboy. I raised cattle for 8 years, sir. Okay, so don't test me today. You just happen to live in the sticks comparatively, Scott.
I mean, yeah, compared to where you live, yes, I do live in the sticks. But no, not everybody has that draw.
I'm just surprised that we've had so many of your crew on the show, and nobody has that draw. Not one. I think the closest.
It depends on where you're from.
I think the closest one was probably Borderlands, Shay. But
Shay has the draw.
Yeah, but
he's
not really from Texas, though, right?
No, I've never actually met Shay in person. If I have, I don't remember it. Sorry, Shay.
So let me ask you this one: This is a rule that I wanted to bring up because I get argued with it all the time. I have to pull out the PAC and pull out the black and white and say, no, it doesn't work that way anymore. Leap climb. Do you have to break away?
Yeah, you have to break away, but it gives you improved
Improve movement
movement.
while moving.
Yeah,
Yes.
adjacency, elevation, and I think outdoor blocking specifically. But it doesn't do a character specifically. It does also let you ignore plasticity's effects, but that's because of plasticity, not leap climb itself.
Well, people
It is a
always think
passive.
that because you can move through characters that you don't have to break away. I think it might have used to be in that way, but they changed it a few years ago. And the last sentence of the power says they still must break away. And people always argue with me about it. They're like, no, you don't. You just move. Like, no. I'm actually arguing against myself here. This hurts me more than it helps me, but that's the rule. You have to break away.
I wonder
Yeah.
if it's because of the wall crawler trait being so prevalent that people assume that the place is part of leap climb itself.
Well, didn't it used to just automatically break away?
No,
No?
never.
Yeah, phasing
Reason
has always been
teleporting.
the auto way, but you have to like action move because phasing is an active, whereas leap climb's passive.
So, what's something that you have to deal with on a regular basis that you think people get wrong all the time?
Uh,
This guy.
yeah, Scott will tell me he's not good at the game, and I have to like argue with him all the time. If Scott tells you he's not good at this game, he's lying to you, and he will teach you how to beat him because he's well enough at the game. He can put you in a better position and still come back from it. I have watched this man crit hit 4 times in a game, still lose because he was being nice to the other guy.
That was
Scott's,
recently.
Uh,
Scott's not nice.
it was a good game. Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
Scott's the greatest.
I didn't hear
As
you,
for
Wes. What did you
actual
say?
rules,
Scott's not nice.
oh, he's the greatest. I will die on this hill. I will be the biggest Scott defender if you ever Uh, we went to Texas States. They had like 36 people there, right, Scott? Half the field was from our store because
Uh,
Scott was like,
20 of
"Hey,
them.
dudes, yeah, hey, dudes, let's see how many people we can get to go to this event and make it the biggest states we can." Scott's the reason I play the game. Half the people at the shop right now, if not three-quarters of them, play the game because of Scott. Because when they played originally, he was there, and then he said, "Hey, do y'all want to play again?" And people were like, "Scott's great. Yeah, sure, I'll show up again." And then kept showing up.
I didn't plan on Scott cheerleading crew, so
Oh no, he fights this every time, and I tooth and nail like, no, you are A, the heart of this community, B, one of the best members of this community, and C, a way better player than anyone gives you credit for, because the only thing that holds Scott Johnson back is dice rolls. If you gave Scott Johnson a team that doesn't need to roll dice, he wins every game. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I can't speak to Scott's performance because I haven't been able to play against him in person yet. But I will say, when I was auditioning for a co-host for this show, and I always edit the videos out in the living room. My wife is watching her little, you know, romance island, whatever crap shows, but she can hear what I'm doing, and she heard Scott's voice and she heard some of the other ones. She's like, "You're picking that one, right?" I mean, there's not even a question there. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely picking that one.
Oh, yeah.
She
Yeah, Scott's the
she didn't
best.
even have to see him, and she knows nothing about Heroclix. She hates Heroclix. She thinks it's the dumbest thing ever. But she heard the quality of Scott's voice, the inflection of his voice, the quality of his questions, and she's like, "That's who you need to pick."
I mean,
And to circle back on your question, I'll say I think learning is probably like just teaching players is probably the thing I deal with the most because we get a lot of newer players and people who return, and we have to like walk them through how powers work, and that can be real rough on people who like. I remember PSP was active. It's like, well, now it's passive. Exploit is passive. Blades is a passive, but you can only target one person. Those like little changes that I think make the game better than what it used to be, but is therefore different than what it used to be.
What about you,
this
Scott?
game is very different than when it started.
What's something that you have to correct people on often?
Team builds.
I mean, probability control's not changing the probability.
You're in dying
Team
that
builds, yeah,
hill.
that's correct. Team builds all the time.
It's a possibility control. I'm sorry. Things that I gotta line of fire. Everyone has questions on line of fire. Line of fire is one of the hardest things to figure out. I carry a string and one of those badge holders, whatever, with me. I got a couple of them. So, but rules wise, I feel like the biggest thing lately is if we have an older player come back, they're used to having the purple starting area, and they're all trying to start in that front row. When now it's not that way, you're having to pull them back, and even if it's a 1x2, the peanut base, it has to start both of them against the edge wall. So I feel like that's probably the easiest thing that people are asking questions about, or that I see as a misplay whenever they get started.
There's always seems to be discussion around mind control and what you have access to controlling the other person's character. Whether it's
You think that?
yeah, but what counts as passive? Like is
Anything that says when this character does this thing, this happens. You can blades while mind controlled because it's during close attack. You can technically prob. So if you're getting mind controlled, always use prob first because otherwise they have it during the attack anyway. You can do PSB, exploit. Both of those are now passive if you're doing the respective type of attack, range, close.
equipment.
If it's a passive effect from equipment like CCE, say Stormbreaker equipped, you get the effects of Stormbreaker. It's still equipped to the piece. The piece is still as it was. It's just now doing something it probably normally wouldn't do.
So what would be an example of something that they don't have access to? What's power like?
Energy explosion.
They wouldn't have access to energy explosion or mind control or hypersonic speed, running shot, perplex. This is the stuff that you actually have to.
Takes a free or a power or range.
I just got this image in my mind of mind control being passive, and you can just mind control somebody, and then you mind control somebody, and then you might just chain mind control.
You leave Jason Wingard out of this.
Oh, that piece that one ruined my day at my very first big time event. Because
he ruined a lot of people's days, but he made a lot of people happy when they were playing it.
I took a whole army of War of the Realm Lokis, the 10-point ones, and so I had like 12 3-click figures with prob and 3 damage and all this stuff. And Jason Wingard would just mind control, chain damage everybody, and took out like half my team in one turn.
And it took 40 minutes to get that one turn done.
Yeah, it was insane.
Good thing he's banned in silver. I just imagine him in the ultraviolet ring. Ooh.
All right, gonna get back on track here a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have any nicknames we should know about, or any former military experience?
Nickname wise, I used to go by Destructor back when I was younger, many moons ago. I've since switched to Delightful. So I try and stick to that one. I try and live up to it too. So as for military experience, no, not a lick.
Okay, that sounds like a story there. How'd you get Delightful?
So I used to be D. So the big thing about both of them is I don't use the E because the letter D already has it built in, I figure. So Destructor was something I did when I was a kid that I just stuck around with. Eventually that switched to a different nickname, or nickname strong word, but gamer tag. Did a different gamer tag with my buddies for a while, and then I eventually went around to realizing I wanted to do some professional dungeon mastering and things like that. So I switched it up and switched to Delightful Destruction because I figured it sounded good and I liked alliteration. And since then I've just kind of switched to just using Delightful because of what people on the internet call me.
Cool.
And Delightful Destruction is also D&D. All right, so what do you do outside of Heroclix?
I do remote IT work, so I get to work from home, which means I make a lot of teams during the 9 to 5, and then I play some of them.
Or you have someone play them.
Hey, man, I'm an architect. What can I say? My buildings are very pretty, and people should live in them.
So is there a reason? Is there a reason you have arcade behind you?
So, a story that Scott has heard more times than he cares to ever hear in his life, and he was there for, back in 2016, many moons ago again, back when I was playing. I had been playing for about a year. We went to Worlds that year. I was like, let's fucking go to Georgia.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. What you're calling Worlds was Rock Cup.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
So we went to Rock Cup.
Wasn't Wizkids sponsored?
anyway. So I went to Rock Cup, right, 2016, and I am at the time 21. Cool, fine, whatever. As we're playing, I end up figuring out like, what do I want to play? I had gotten onto an arcade kick. This specific arcade, which is the Avengers Assemble 44 arcade, 70 points, had 2 dials. So either you won map roll and he was going to be shooting from the starting area on whoever he wanted to, basically, or he didn't and he had mind controls, poison, and perplex. Not one dial was significantly better than the other, so there's that. This was also back when I believe Minions of Doom was a team player, basically.
Yes.
So I end up I had enough points. I bought in for the buy-in tournament, which was limited, which was just pieces on board, no sideline back in the day, which was an arcade team that I made, which was Arcade Demonicus, Mixel Pitlick, and the D20 Felix Faust, because he is busted. And I won that tournament, got first place, and then got to go into the next day of Rock Cup. So then I go into official Rock Cup. That one was, modern at the time, whatever you want to call it, which was a team with Arcade, General Lane, Mixel Pitlick, D20 Faust, and a full Pandora's box. All the while, Quinjets were running around, were prevalent. So I played through that tournament. And
Hold on, time out a little bit. Wes has no idea what these things are.
I do too.
He's got the War of Light in the background. I would hope he knows what
he doesn't. He's never played against the Quinjet. He doesn't know what ID cards. I mean, he may know what the ID cards do, but that's a Deadpool Quinjet. That's not the Quinjet.
No. Quinjet was ID cards were busted. They were very, very poorly balanced, in my opinion. They were interesting, but they're poorly balanced. Scott used them with the drones. That's how I knew.
Yes.
So I'm wading through a field of things that are just rough for me to play against, and end up by the end of that with 6th place in the entire tournament, having already had to play through one day. So I got to be 6th place in the world for a year at the age of 21. I then came home, played my brother in a game of Heroclix. The same thing. It was a worldwide tournament. Don't take this away from me. Rock Cup was worldwide. People.
I don't know why you want to trounce on Rock Cup and say it's not as good as Worlds. You keep calling it Worlds. Rock Cup is Rock Cup, man.
What's the difference of locale?
I'm giving you semantics, okay?
Yeah, okay. Next regionals. All right, thanks, Scott. But yeah, so I got 6th place. Came back home, played my brother in a game. My brother beat me, and he goes, "So does that make me 5th place now?" And he will never let that joke go. But as such, I have an undying love for this specific arcade, which saddens me with the one they made in Smash and Destroy, because it's bad. It's outright bad. The traps are bad, and the design space for them is not great. And I will die on that hill also. The traps are traps. Do not use them. The only trap that's good is Flamethrower.
Nah, I like the pit. The pit's good.
I would like to see you wrestle with Redmond and Miles about that, because they just I finished their 9-hour long podcast about current modern, and they talked quite a few minutes about the arcade and the traps, and they were making arguments for why it might be viable now after rotation. But
so he doesn't work only on end of turn, and the traps don't work only on beginning of turn, and usually only in the squares that they're in. Did that change?
No, it hasn't changed.
Cool. No. Politely, they're wrong. Okay. I'll have this conversation if they want. I will argue with anyone you want. Traps are bad.
All right, so I have
if traps were immobile, then I would say that they're worthless, but they are not immobile, so I don't think they are completely worthless.
Only good trap is Flamethrower, because you put it on a plasticity super strength piece with that just ties up as many as you can, and you splash 2 damage. All it's good for.
So I have a question about the Quinjet. To me, it kind of sounds like a fire rocket.
No, the Quinjet was not like a fire rocket. The Quinjet let you bring in ID cards. I believe it let you start with 3 for free. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played the Quinjet, and the ID cards normally cost you 5 points. You would take an action, bring in some dude that was equal to or less points than the guy that called him in. He would get to take an action, and then what you would do is the guy who called him in would hop away. He would disappear, so they couldn't colossal retaliate against him and score the points on a phone.
Well, that sounds better than
motorcycle.
You're just trying to play some nice little sound bites there.
Hey, it's my new toy. I want to play with it.
So, but back to Drew on this arcade. Everyone thought that the arcade was, I mean, arcade on his map was banging because he could reach across the map, and if he would hit you, if they would hit him, he just hop to the other starting area and do it again.
Yeah.
He had that for like a couple of clicks. But if you knew how to play arcade with his mind control, mastermind, poison, perplex, whatever it was, you were set up for success with that guy. You just had to know the two different ways and the two different styles. And if you had the team built for it, arcade was a chef's kiss.
I did not win team map every round of the tournament. Probably went 50-50 with it. I did not lose maps, or I did not lose games that I lost map roll on.
Yeah, because he
Except
turned off
for
the theme
one.
team prop, didn't he? Or the theme team bonus.
If he loses map, he doesn't get anything. He doesn't do anything.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't it say when rolling for map?
Oh yeah. He turns off theme team, but this was also like theme teams were not as prevalent back then.
So would that figure be as good now in Silver Age?
I feel like he would need wild card over the Doom team ability, but yes.
So, no, I think Doom would on him, considering that every time he gets a kill, he heals a click, and that means as long as he's getting one damage to heal.
So if he came back today with his same stats, I think he would still be playable. Maybe a little cheaper.
So give him the flute.
I mean, you need to give him, like, all you need to do when you have him at that point is throw some enhancement next to him, and then have a bunch of fodder to run in. And if you get map roll, he's unprobable basically for a full map reach. He'd be an 11 for 2 precision strike energy explosion with 1 bolt, so that's a little rough. But I mean, given that now you can like do enhancement on him, if you give him outwit, he can see through that. He can perplex through his stuff. For his attack and damage powers, he can count range and draw a line of fire. So, there's plenty of things you can like throw on him nowadays that you could like, oh, I'm going to pulse wave you all the way across the map with arcade.
It was a thing. I mean, it could be a thing. I feel like arcade could be playable today.
Yeah, I am dying for a legacy of him. And Scott's like, well, they have to make the map. Like, they'll make a map that he can be legacied on. I'm sure of it. Arcade's Arena was a great map.
Yes, it was a good map. Nice and open with a little hallway on one side and water on the other.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing it didn't have was elevation. And honestly, oh no.
I don't think it had much blocking other than walls. But
yeah, it had the building, but I mean, the building is also still a decent little bunker.
Right. So at home IT tech. So you just basically build Heroclix when you're not actually working.
Oh yeah.
What type of games do you like to play? The meta or made up homebrew type stuff that we do at the shop?
It depends on like what mood I'm in, because if I'm in the mood, we've been talking about it. Like, I've been building a lot of 300 moderns recently. Lantern Legacy really lit something in me, but I think my favorite type of game is like Capture the Pog. That I know Scott said he didn't invent, but he's who I learned it from. So he therefore is the inventor as far as I'm concerned.
He's still from Wizkids. Thank you.
Yeah, plagiarism's beautiful. Okay, it's how a lot of people make their living. But I think in a lot of ways, like I miss being able to do one man's trash, capture like old school Capture the Pog, because like design space for the Clix have changed so much. You can't build a bad team, show the other person how to use it kind of stuff. Because I remember there was one time we did capture the one man's trash. I made a team that I was like, this is bad. Here you go. Scott handed me what was like 20 uniques. Like,
everybody on my team was unique. It had the silver ring, and I'm like, here you go. Here's your team of 300 points.
Most of them didn't have cards. It was like, here's a Bruce Wayne for 13 points. Here's the big ones I remember were Gleek, which gave him a perplex. Victoria Hand, which did damage when she switched teams, and there was something else I had. I think it was like a bob, like a Hydra bob, and I nearly beat Scott with a team where my highest point piece was like 30 points. I was very proud of myself that day.
Hey, you did very well with that team, because I mean, I built a bunch of. It was a hodgepodge of garbage.
But I think the stuff that makes me stronger, weirdly enough, is when we're practicing the fun games, because it's a little easier to work on like different angles of attack that you're like, oh, this piece can do it this way, and then you think, oh, but what if it was this piece? And now you're making connections, neurons are firing in ways that otherwise you would just like, oh yes, I have made this team, it is going to do this. There is no like workaround.
So you're saying the casual / fun type games help build into the meta?
I
Just with
definitely think it helps like
play
positioning
testing.
and stuff because
Yes.
it's easier to like talk through with your opponent where you're like, hey, I'm da 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 da. Oh, I forgot to do this, and then you just like, okay, remember to do it next time, or you can make up for it, and you can like see the effects that you have and things like that. There have been plenty of times where I'm like, oh, this is the first time I'm playing a piece. I forgot to do two things with it, and we've just passed turn. Bing, bing, we're good. So
So
Go ahead and do them.
have you played the roulette invention of his?
multiple times. Roulette's a good one.
Have you heard about my adaptation of that for a team event?
Oh, he was talking to us about it. The hard part for that's figuring out a way to make like everything theme without doing just like here's Avengers because everything's Avengers nowadays.
Yeah.
But I I think that's a pretty interesting one, especially if you are working off of like what are three different pieces of three different ways that whatever we get we can make work. It's like that sounds like a good time.
So my big question is for Wes potentially is, do you expect people that are playing into this to bring their own three figures and then be like, oh hey, I'm gonna get teamed up with Joe and Schmo or Larry and Curly and I'm Mo, and we happen to have the same three figures for our 50-point line? Or is
So
someone, do you think someone should build the whole team?
I've put a lot of thought into that, and that's why I made it at the very end of the weekend, because at that point you have gotten um, boosters and LEs and bricks and everything else all weekend long that you had to pull from. I'm going to have my personal collection on site. Um, so even if you have duplicates or whatever, you have other things to pull from that you can make a team. I feel like most people are probably going to stick with their team sealed teams. As far as like, if the three of us were playing together at team sealed, we'd probably just go straight into team roulette.
Yeah, but the teams would be totally different from Team Sealed versus Team Roulette.
Well, are you
I
talking about
imagine
the
as a
team players or the team figures?
I mean, the team. I feel like the teams itself would stay,
Yeah.
but the figures themselves. Like if
Yeah.
Drew packed a team and you packed a team and I packed a team and we unfold and it's like, oh snap, we all have 50-point Black Panther.
Well, that's
I think
why,
at that point,
yeah,
as a
you're gonna
thought, you
have
might do like have three selections of each level and you rank them like this is my favorite of this option, second, third. You've brought 9 figures, which shouldn't be super hard to bring. And then, oh, we're gonna put you on a team. This guy's 3 figures for these. Y'all share one, so we'll let one of you two have it. You may decide that there, and the other person has to put their second figure in.
Yeah, but you're still rolling to see which ones you get. It's
Yeah.
not just bring your three figures. So
And-
someone might be touching someone's figures.
and you've had
Oh, no.
Yeah,
all
I mean, you're on
Saturday
a
and
team
Sunday
with
to get new product to pull from.
Yes. I mean, I feel like the product's going to be available, so you should be fine because you have Lantern Legacy for the supercharged, and you have X-Men 97 for the regular. So I feel like that
Yep.
people should be covered by that. I just wanted to ask just to make sure.
And then I'm going to have my own stuff they can borrow from too.
All right, Drew. I would like to ask if you're a better builder or a better pilot. But the answer that you give me is yes, I understand.
Hey man, when you're good, you're good. You know. No, I think there's a part of it that at the end of the day, I probably build better than I play, but it's the difference is minuscule at best. And part of the fun for me is building really well to give teams to people that they then succeed with. I know when we first got back into the game, I made or when I first got back into the game, there was a silver tournament that came up, so I made an Avengers team for a buddy of mine to take to a different tournament, and he had been playing for all 6 months, and he went, I think 3-2 with it, I was like, hey man, that's great. I am glad that I built a team that was strong enough that you could show up, not quite know what you're doing, and still do well with it. And then he got fellowship. Another guy, we had gotten practicing with a similar team, and then he made top cut at states for his first big tournament that he went to because I helped him build that team and practice it with him. So like building teams that are both fun for the player and able to stand up to rigorous tournament play is a very satisfying part of the game to me.
How important is practice?
Do you want to win? I mean, like,
Okay.
if you want to succeed, practice is important.
Follow-up question. How much time should you have with your team before an event?
I mean, cop-out answer is as much, but I think the real answer to that breaks down to just how much time does it take you to feel comfortable? Because at some point you're getting diminishing returns. Once you're like, no, I feel good with this, keep playing to get more reps in, sure. But if you feel good with it, I mean, that's like the bare minimum, if you ask me, is like, I like it, I feel good with it, let's go.
So, kind of a follow up to that, or off that train of thought. I don't want to call anybody out, but I've had conversations with a lot of meta players over the course of my short career and doing this podcast and stuff. And it seems like, for the most part, not everybody, but for the most part, once you get in that upper echelon of playability and confidence, the practice kind of goes out the window. You know how to play the game, you know the figures, you can do it all in your head, and you don't put so much time on the table. What do you say to players like that?
Fully Drew Warren's trademark opinions. These are not reflected by either Scott Johnson or Wes Roberts. Should they decide to back me up, that's a business. They're good because they're always practicing. You say that it doesn't matter. As an example, I saw Daniel Powell was in there, and I know him. He's been playing for years. Like the amount of practice he's put in with all different types of teams, different figures, different like play styles, uh, is very hard to like fully wrap around. Isaac Arnold Berkovitz has been playing since he was what, 9. His dad Ed is a good player too. They're both solid players that are able to play each other at any given moment. Uh, Scott's got so many years of experience that that's part of what makes him a very dangerous player, is because he might know something you don't, or he's done something you haven't. And you get these people who are consistently successful in their upper echelon, but it's not some luck thing. I mean, dice rolls and all that. But like when I played in states against Asael in the top 4, my opening attack was a crit miss.
Oof.
I mean, it happens, right? I'm not a bad player. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm, lacking confidence. This is one of the very few things about me I'll say is, definitely not true. But and I'll sit here like, oh, I probably could have won if I didn't crit miss, but I didn't. I didn't win. And I think people who get hung up on why they didn't win, but don't learn from it, is an important distinction, right? I lost because I was overconfident. I didn't pay attention to what his figures fully did, and I got unlucky. It happens. SAL is also just a good player. And when I do those things, then he punishes me for, my overconfidence, for making poor choices. That's the game. That's how this works, right? Uh, Anyone who wants to say there's like a cabal or there's like an upper group, you just haven't played a lot. And if you are playing, who are you playing with, right? Politely, not everyone's good at the game. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't play games with them. We have locals at our shop who don't like to go to big tournaments because they don't think they do well. But I love sitting down across the table from them and talking to them. So, if you're so worried about the competitive meta side of it, you just have to put a lot more time into it than you are. And eventually that will get rewarded. There's no shortcuts in any game, realistically, except loaded dice, and that's against the rules. So
But do
we're
you
back to
think?
square one.
Well, I mean, finish this. Do you think that there is a skill level you can reach in which you do not need to practice anymore, or that
No,
you don't
no,
have anything else to learn?
no. Anyone who tells you that's lying, again, that's a fake out tactic. That's the I'm so good at this, you don't even know, and they're studying it in their back pocket. Like if you tell me, all right, Drew, here's 7 new figures that dropped, all of which have potential. What do you play? give me 5 minutes. Like, I'm not going to just like this done. Right. The Sinestro came out, right? The Sinestro Prime turns off all positive modifiers. What do you play with that? Well, here's a 75-point defend. Here's this, here's that. Cool. And then your opponent rolls a 10. Like, it. Anyone that says they don't need practice is just someone who either is lying to you or just doesn't want to practice. And
Okay, I feel like there's different types of practice. Like your mental reps are practice. If you're sitting here and you're like, oh, hey, what can I do to counteract Wakanda and Hulkbuster with Ace? I got to go after Ace so then I can outwit Wakanda and Hulkbuster. You got to know the threat analysis in your head. And I feel like even if you're studying, you're doing work.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If you're not doing any study, you're not doing any lookups, you don't know anything, and you're just come to the table,
I mean,
good luck.
Practice is more than just what's on the table. It's knowing what's around. If you're saying, all right, Drew, what does the Prime Sinestro do? It does these things. What are the point values? These and this. What's the other primes in that set? Lobo. It's Lobo, Kilowog, and then it's John Stewart, which is the ultraviolet John Stewart. Okay, well, what are the primes in Smash or Destroy? Destroyer, Red Harpy, which you're not going to see Red Harpy on field. Abomination, maybe but unlikely. And then the other prime in that, off the top of my head, because there was one more, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And it's like, okay, well, what do you do if it's that fourth prime? My best, man. Like, you know, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to be prepared for everything. The best you can do is be ready for the most that you can be and be confident in your side of the table.
I was thinking about when I was listening to that 9 hour long podcast. I'm going to keep talking about that because it was a marathon. But Miles Kane came home from Worlds as the world's pulp champion, and he talked on his podcast about how he built that team that day, and he's like, I should not be able to. It's not in a healthy state because I should not be able to build a team that morning and come home that evening as a world champion. That should not exist. And so he says that the game format is not in a healthy state if he's able to do that.
But like, so what was the team? Do we know?
We can find it on
300
yeah.
300
I mean,
Thanos.
my point is going to be is unless that team is exclusively Lantern
you're
Legacy.
talking just 300-point Thanos?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of busted. You just have to have the right sideline to make it work. But there's other ways around the 300-point pulp at the time.
I mean, like 300 Thanos is dangerous, but it's like if you just out action him, because like at the end of the day, not every pulp figure is going to be equal. That's the nature of the game. 300 Thanos is just is going to chew through you, but you also just have to beat it up. And if you have 3 attacks every turn to hits 1, statistically, you should be able to outkill it, especially if it ever misses. Because Lord knows, the idea that it's like, oh, well, I built this morning. Did you build it this morning? Or did you have familiarity with the things that you encountered and were going to encounter, right? If I show up and I have memorized every set release and every piece in it, and then I build a team that morning out of things that I've used in other tournaments, maybe not exactly together this way, did I build the team that morning or have I prepped for it, right? If I have used Captain Colosseum, right, the Smash and Destroy Captain America, if I have used him on 7 of my last 18 builds, right, go to a different team, play around for like a month, and then come back to him, did I make that team that morning? Like, it's a loaded question that I think is an interesting aspect of how much of team building is the actual build of the team versus familiarizing yourself with pieces and using them.
Now, I'm not ragging on Miles at all. The man earned that victory. Like, he is easily one of the top players in the game right now, and he loves building those fringe corners of the meta that nobody else is brave enough to touch. The guy is a genius, and he deserves that victory.
He is a genius in building, yes.
Yeah. Building counterintuitive or building not often seen teams is also very dangerous in Clix uniquely compared to like things like, say, Magic the Gathering or in Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, things like that, where you don't have as much flexibility because of the fact that you may not know a rules interaction with a like unique piece. And if you bring something, someone goes, okay, I don't know what all of that does. In a lot of tournaments I've seen, even your upper echelon players, quote unquote, even your like good ones, don't check cards. And if you don't, like, I will read through all of my opponent's cards. I may not remember everything. I may not get it all right, but I will read all of their cards if I don't know what's happening. because you have to. Anytime you don't know what your opponent's about to do, or you think you do, you just take the risk that there is something that they know that you don't every time you sit down.
Especially in Silver Age, where the field is so broad.
I took an Iceman LE team to fourth place in states. It was Iceman, Apocalypse, Bat Prince, and Iron Hammer. I made Pogs that all had +1 all combat values and willpower. Who's ready for that? What do you do when every time you're trying to attack me, I just have another top dial ready to go, and you score 5 points? Asael's response was to beat the poop out of me, so go team. But, it wasn't unstoppable, but it was like, okay, well, how do I interact with this? Well, I can mastermind up to 9 squares away with Apocalypse. You can kill whoever you want as long as Apocalypse lives. I'm good for the most part, right? Go team. And
every time I practice against it, I go after Iceman first. I'm like, the heck with all these +1s.
Yep.
And he learned to start holding Iceman back a little bit against me. Against other people, that's them. Are you on a Heroclix team?
Curators of the Cataclysm. We are the best team that is in Texas. We're the best team in the state. We're the best team in the world. I'll say it. We are easily the best team in the world because it has the most handsome members. Mostly carried by me and a little bit everyone else.
Is Scott part of this team?
He's the founder. I will argue, day I die, Scott Johnson is the reason that a lot of Heroclix in Texas exists and does as well as it does. That man is a stable to build a house on. He is a foundation like no one else.
Cheerleader. Yeah. Or a crowd. That's the sound you need next.
Yeah, I'm going to add the applause. I thought about doing like a like the old 80s TV shows with the live studio audience. Yay!
All right, Drew, one more question here that I got pulled up. Do you have a preferred build style? One-man army, tent pole, or the multi-layer?
I think the breakdown for me is it either breaks down to a like mixture of tent pole and whack, because Scott has seen me make here's 7 different interactions work to make this one thing happen, and I shoot you in the face physically. What do you do? And then there have been other times where it's like the time I did win Texas States was a Jakeem Thunder team back when he was relevant, which was 140 points to him and then some other stuff. And it's like, it just depends on what I want to do and what sparks interest, what sparks joy. I do better when I like the team.
So this is for both of you. I'm curious what your answer is to this, Scott. What is your goal in a game? Are you trying to sweep the whole team? Are you just trying to point denial and just barely squeak by? What is your end game? What is your ideal ending of a match?
Scott, how about we answer this for each other?
Oh, you want to answer it for each other?
I think it might be better if I tell you. So the way Scott plays is Scott's intention is not like Ted Lasso, where he wants the game to end in the most educational way he can, preferably with one of the two teams being wiped due to like interaction and actual gameplay. Scott doesn't want to win by accident. Scott wants to win because a good game was had. He'd rather have a 299 to 300 point win than just stomp you out 300-0, I would argue. Scott likes to make sure that his opponent has a good time and plays the game, and then he wins still.
So I'm going to go on to Drew before I say if I like it or not. Drew has 2 gears. Drew has fun gear, and Drew has kill gear. If he's at a competitive event, he's in kill mode. He wants to kill. If he's in fun mode, he doesn't care what happens. Let's get in there, throw dice. Let's have some fun. Education is probably what he's leaning towards when he's playing that fun game. But in that kill game, it's like, no, we're friends after the game. During the game, we're enemies. And have a good time.
So with your knowledge of me, what would you say my play style is?
I've played you, once, twice on Roll20?
Yeah, but you've gotten to know me. You know my personality.
I feel like
Texas enough. Needs more 6 shooters.
I feel like that you're going to do anything you can to win. whether it's runaway, whether it's like if you got to go to points, then you're going to points. If you got to get that, if you have the ability to get the full kill, then by all means. But I feel like you're comfortable with going to points.
Yes, I very rarely have I ever ended a game early unless I was the one being wiped out. I like going the full hour or whatever it is. I want it to be as close as possible. I want it to be a knockout, drag out, Rocky style brawl to the last point. And that's what's fun for me. And whether I win or
Right.
lose, at least it's fun.
And I will say Drew is correct in his perception of me. I think that is spot on. I want to have a fun educational game. Win or lose. I mean, even at the competition level, it's like, yes, I would like to win, and I get upset when I mess up. But if I learn something or if someone else learns something, game's better.
Which, given that I come from Scott's store, that is the other big thing about how we play is we don't teach our players to play passively. We figure get as many turns in a game as you can, makes you have a better chance of winning, which is why wiping usually is our preferred method.
Cool.
I would say that at the store we are more definitely leaning towards the more aggressive. I personally hate barrier as a power because it limits my access to you. And if you're limiting the access to you, then you're limiting the ability to have fun.
Limiting the opponent's ability to have fun. Let's be fair.
I wish we
As
had. I wish we had
full
Scott up
vote on the
here.
table, it would be less fun.
I wish we had Scott
All
up
right, what
here
do
to
you
help
think,
me
Wes?
build the community up here around like that. Our meetings are few and far between.
It's always a rocky road. Like we'll have our down spells to where it's just 2-3 people showing up a week, and then it may take a year, it may take 2 years, and you'll have 5 and then 10, and like heck, just last year we were at almost 20 on an average night. We could get 20 definitely on a pre-release. Now it's back down. We're at 6, 7, and I'm happy with the downs being a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
It's consistency. I will say if you're trying to build a community, the best thing to do is be consistent. Scott has been consistent for as far as I'm aware, the entirety that he's been playing. He has outlasted stores, and that's how people keep coming back. Is because Scott will be there on Monday at 7 o'clock, even if he is by himself. He will be there on Monday at 7 o'clock.
And usually I'll have an extra team with me in case there is someone new.
Usually has extra like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, here lately it's just one because I've been extra busy.
I've been picking up that slack because I'm
Yes, you have. All right, Drew, 2d6 in front of you. Crit hit or crit miss.
What's more? What this is good or bad? Who's rolling? Me or the opponent?
You're rolling.
I'm rolling. I'm gonna go with a 7 because it's statistically the most likely roll. And if you need more than a 7, I don't dislike those odds. You need less than a 7, even better.
But what would come up first, a crit hit or a crit miss?
Given my experiences, crit miss. I'll still win, but it'll be a crit miss.
Okay. Next question is a follow-up. Who at the store? I want you to name names. Who at the store has the worst dice rolls?
You, Scott Johnson, missing link. What? How many? There are. Do you want me to try? I can figure out a different language to say it in. I have yelled it earlier. I'll yell it again. It is you.
Who at the store has the best dice rolls?
I mean, me. I'm the best player at the store, so there's that. Like, I figured it's either tactics or dice rolls. So I'm gonna toot my own horn just enough to say dice rolls and call it there.
All right. So
Is my lack of dice rolls because of probability control?
Probably. Because when you have like 4 against you, you do not do well. When you have 4 on your team, you do better, but you don't like to admit that.
No, it doesn't do any better. Sorry.
Scott, do you like the props that you only roll 1 dice instead of both?
I love it. I love it. If you want to give me Eddie Guerrero prob all day long.
Isn't there one in
That
X-Men
Forbush
97?
Man.
What's that?
Isn't there somebody in X-Men 97 that's going to do that? I feel like
Is
there's
it a
somebody.
Gambit? I think.
I don't know, but if you
Yeah, I
get
think
to
it was
roll one
Gambit.
D over both, then I'm all for it. That is probability control to me because I got one of these situated where I need it. That two or that one, come on, you got a 60% chance to get bigger.
I feel like you're too locked in on the control part of probability control.
I'm locked in on the probability portion of it.
All right, so Drew, are you a red dress or a matrix? What do you when you look at the game? Do you see the code of the game, or do you see the overall figures and joy of the game?
I I think the fun for me is Tetrising it, right? Figuring out because I usually I do a lot of theme teams, almost exclusively theme teams, because I like that limitation normally, unless it's a like Lobo being its own theme of like, oh yes, here's a team player theme. Uh, but I think for me, it's just the way things fall into place can be very satisfying. So it's more of like a Matrix Tetris kind of a scenario.
You guys got
What color was the dress?
Whatever she wanted it to be.
No, come on, the blue and the black or the gold
Sure,
and the white.
if this is where we're going with this, the quality has just drastically dropped from every other part of this conversation, and it saddens me.
Look, I gotta know what color that dress was because I can't see it either way.
Then what does it matter?
It
Oh
doesn't to me.
yes, it's camo. It's John
Okay,
Cena dress.
it's a John Cena dress. I love it.
Hey, if you can't see it either way,
all right. So I know that you hung around with Scott way too much, so I want to know if he's influenced you. How do you open a booster?
I don't do it the way Scott does. You 2 to 3 fingers in the top of it, rip.
Okay,
Just tear the top straight off.
little Neanderthal, but from the top, so I approve. Good job.
I always figured Drew
Like
was
a
a
lid.
bottom.
You've seen me open packs, my man. The only thing bottom about me is my confidence levels when I lose, and then they bottom out. What
Look, I'm
happens
gonna
that
say that when we
break?
went to the Patrick Yapjoko's event in LA, when you lost that event, you were having a
Oh,
rough day.
I was 21 and peeved. And then I think like the few days afterwards, I realized that we had misplayed how that game should have gone. He
Yes,
was the guy was doing a thing that he should have been he was using was it Black Voodoo? What was the
I don't
character
know
name?
who it was. I don't remember the
They
whole
mind
thing. I just
controlled
know
the
that you were
dead
mad because of a
character.
sidestep that you forgot.
And this was back when feedback damage was around. So they would mind control my piece that was over 100 points. They should have been taking a feedback damage. They weren't doing that. And I think we just both, like, I forgot about that ruling. I think he did too. Uh, and there was a sidestep that if I had used, I would have probably
Lasted a
won
whole
that
turn.
match. Yeah. Uh, but I realized afterwards I was real mad at myself for that. And then I realized that there was a mistake going on there. And I was like, I'm a little less mad at myself, but also it's still on me.
Marvel or DC?
And then we went, oh, Marvel or DC. Ooh.
I like Marvel properties more. I'm a big Hulk fan, but I think the DC sets on average are typically better. They're usually more cohesive. I like the figures in them. Like uh Lantern Legacy and Masters of Time as sets, I think were better than any of the Marvel sets around them. I like Next Phase, Deadpool Weapon X or whatever that one um was fine. It was okay. Black Panther was a surprise drop. Cool. But like Lantern Legacy and Masters of Time, both as sets, had a lot of interesting figures with pieces that I think are worth looking at and playing.
I would like to retract that statement, Drew. Black Panther was a surprise to me. It has been better than what I gave it credit for when it first came out. Uh, Smash and Destroy. Some of those cheap dials are really, really good. You just got to go back and look at them.
The Smash Door was fine. as things I'm interested in grabbing for, playing, things like that. Smash and Destroy didn't have enough Hulks. Would like more like not Hulk specifically, but Hulk pieces. Having like a Braun or an Amadeus Cho, a She-Hulk, like those would have been pretty cool. But the set itself was fine. I liked the Wrecking Crew, even though they're bad. Uh, the Asgardian sub theme works for me. That makes sense. Black Panther like it's not bad as a set. It's just of the like DC versus Marvel. I think the Marvel sets could use a little more time cooking, where DC sets when they drop cool. They drop better. Especially when like the newest DC set having legacy cards in the packs and the next one 97 going to just alternate cards, and it's like put legacy cards back in the packs. Like just keep that energy, do that. Like make a bunch of legacy cards, put them in the packs. Distribution is always going to be like one of the biggest issues with this game. Topkov Phoenix Fog, because I still need to get one of those because for 10 points it's busted. But at the end of the day, you just kind of do what you can, got, and go from there.
All right, so rotation just happened. Is there any figure that is rotating out of Modern that you wanted to play in a big event? You knew it had potential. You saw it, and you just never got around to playing it because it lost its new shiny, or it just didn't fit in any teams. For me, it was Wolverine Pool. I still believe in that figure. It just never really happened for me, and I'm like really bummed that it snuck out of Modern before I had a chance to really see it played out.
SR Wong from next phase that would pick a person, land next to them, and just brawl. Because you could brawl someone that wasn't next to him, which was always the idea of just, all right, you and me, and I'm going to punch that guy real quick. But you and me. The Titania from next phase also that would shut down celebrities. I thought she never quite got enough grip. I think. And then anything else? I never got to play the Colossus
Iconic
Prime.
Doomsday.
Iconics Doomsday is going to see its day in the sun soon, and it will
But
be
it's
because of either
retired.
me or somebody. It's in
It's
silver.
retired.
Yeah. Yeah, you were going to play Iconic Doomsday in 300-point game. You didn't have the right points for it. He's 400 silver, baby. He gonna see game. I promise you. Somebody will play him, whether it be me or somebody next to me.
Masters of Evil Phoenix.
Correct.
What's your Scott?
Man, I play so much different stuff. I can't say that there hasn't been anything that I didn't play that I wanted to. Said I always try and play the meta adjacent stuff that's kind of like left field and get to do some weird stuff. I really, really liked my Gala team. I felt like it was great. I just couldn't get around a barrier. Damn you, barrier.
You have any,
Phoenix Fog, that's the real issue.
You have any more questions for this segment?
No, I think I'm good. You got some shameless plugs? You want to pump some red, white, and clicks?
So, as you can see, red, white, and clicks right around the corner. It is, I want to say 29 days away. It's right around the corner, and X-Men 97 is supposed to drop at the end of this month. I'm not holding my breath on it. What I do know for a fact is that I will have the product in hand for sealed events at Red, White, and Clicks. So, if you want to make sure you're getting your hands on X-Men 97 for most people, probably, dude, top 16 in 300 Modern are getting a brick. I am pricing out like every event's getting tons of LEs, bricks, boosters, exclusive 3D printed objects, all kinds of. I got some Black Adam deceased and some John Cena's that just arrived yesterday.
I can see all those John Cena's behind you.
Yeah. So I got all kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, big time. The top 16 players in 300 Modern are getting a brick of X-Men 97, which, as far as I know, is the only time that's ever happened in Heroclix history. And all the proceeds, and it's only $30 to play. $30. make top 16, you're getting a brick. I mean, you're making your money back just in the participation prizes. You're getting LEs and 3D printed objects that are you can resell if you wanted to, and it's unreal. But it's all going to help veterans. Last year, we donated $4,000 to a veterans organization that turned around and used that to help out 28 different soldiers who were in crisis and talk about taking their own lives. So it's a real world cause that is tangible that you can see the difference we make. So come on out. We got 300 Modern, Team Sealed, Team Roulette, BR Supercharged Sealed, which will be X-Men 97 and Lantern Legacy. Um, so
And
I
Heroclix.
yeah, I need to make two announcements to clarify a couple things. One, the hot clicks is not actually hot wings. It'll be chicken tenders or nuggets or whatever with hot sauce. You're eating with a fork. You're not touching with your hands. You're not getting your pieces all sticky. It's just a fork. You put it in your mouth. Nothing touches the wings. So
What if I want to get my opponent's pieces sticky?
no, you're not touching anything sticky. And I've been asked multiple times just today. Orange text on maps is still banned. This the only adjustments to current WizKids rules is that I have my own current custom maps that are going to be able to be used. Outside of that, all WizKids rules are in effect. So no orange text maps. And you use maps, but the orange text doesn't mean anything. So make sure that's crystal clear. I'm going to be making more announcements as we go on about that to remind people that don't plan on coming with the what's the one with the lava?
Oh, the new one?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. It's not Nexus.
Marvel Rivals. Rival
Rivals,
Respawn.
Respawn.
Yeah, don't bring the Respawn map thinking you're going to be able to pull off some gotcha moments and have a bad experience
Have
for your
to move
opponent.
around. Woo! Collector got away.
Yeah, that's not fun for anybody, especially when the rest of the community expects not to use that stuff. So we're just keeping it modern legal for everything with the addition of
Question
regular
about your
first
orange text squares then. Your orange squares.
Mm-hmm.
Will they be considered hindering, clear, blocking, obscured? Obscure is not even a text.
Whatever Wizkids declared them.
Okay, I don't know. I haven't checked any of
But,
the maps
I
to see
mean,
what they
Rivals
are.
Respawn feels like it would be water if it's lava, but that's also just a really weird map for like to be competitively viable / an option.
Yeah, that's why nobody's played it
No, that map
because
is
it's
really
only
good.
viable when they can use the gimmicks with it. I know the ice lake is all water. The frozen part's just water. But
The
beyond,
guardianship has a couple of spaces of space on the outside.
They're blocking terrain that can't be destroyed, it says.
Yeah. Just blocking,
You
probably.
might just, what's it
Yeah,
called?
okay. Just
Yeah.
blocking terrain. That can be destroyed now. All right. I'm good.
How are we doing on the football?
Let me go check that real quick. I think that's gonna be like the only game I win this week.
As far as I know, I was in the losers bracket. I don't know.
Let's see. League. I am beating our printer, JJ Hoffner. You are losing to Drew, the other Drew, Andres, that's been on the show. And you're gonna get it's gonna be a close game for you.
Really?
So you got a shot.
Okay. Yeah, just come on to Red and Clix. It's gonna be a great time. Great pricing. I've really tried hard to erase every excuse you could have not to come, with the exception of buying your plane tickets for you. I can't do that, but there's great food. I'm going to have food on hand for free all day long, every day. Better price than anybody else. The newest set available.
Next year, we need to have the Wes Robertson Travel Agency helping you book your tickets.
Well, I'm hoping that
isn't it Adam Friedland or I know there's somebody who's talked about trying to set up like ways to get players in like other countries and stuff for big events over here, but I can't remember
Yes.
more than
Well,
that.
it's called the
I believe that's Brad that helped set
International
that up.
Players Foundation or something like that.
Yeah.
And they fundraise throughout the year, and then I think it's at Worlds they bring somebody over from overseas. But I'm planning on expanding Red, White, and Clix going forward in the future, so we might have a new venue in your neck of the woods in the future. Who knows?
Ooh,
Who
chance for me
knows?
to get first place. I like
We'll
this.
get to that next season.
All right.
Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Got my questionnaire pulled up.
All right. So, Drew, here in Talking Clicks land, we have what we call the Clicks questionnaire. It is a foolproof way for the community to really know you as an individual. You've been playing for a long time. Scott's known you for a while. You've been around. People know your name. We've been talking to you for an hour, but we don't really know you. We don't know what makes you click. So I've gotten into the AI and we
Damn it.
developed a foolproof, ironclad way to really know you as a player and know what makes you click. Are you ready to be fully known by the community?
I don't know if I'm being paid enough for that, but okay.
Wait, we get paid?
Just in hugs and kisses.
Oh,
right.
I love it. I'm down.
Toilet paper, over or under?
Whichever way it ends up, as long as it's there.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Pepsi is an inferior product, and it's an inferior drink.
What is the best sandwich?
Depends on what you're craving, but I mean, a ham and cheese is a classic. Peanut butter and jelly also a classic.
If you could go back in time and tell your 15-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
I don't want to talk to you.
Okay. Which power matches your personality the best? Outwit, perplex, or probability control?
I think outwit, but it might be perplex.
Would you rather win a big Heroclix event with an underdog team or barely squeak by with a meta monster?
I'm gonna I've won with a barely meta team before. How dare you, sir? You know that.
Just asking.
Yeah.
It's in the questionnaire.
I think you might have already answered this. What is the first HeroClick figure that you ever pulled that made you fall in love with the game?
He's here. I brought him.
Arcade. Look, I'm just gonna keep saying. I'm gonna keep dragging your face through it that you didn't like that guy until I showed you what he could do.
Yeah, when I was stupid, I didn't like him. You're right, and then I learned, and I was like, "Oh, I was wrong."
And I had to
And then I
educate.
learned. Yeah.
All right,
I'm
you
not
get to
perfect, I'm
outwit
just
one of
the
these
best.
two: super senses or shape change. Which one are you giving your opponent the chance to roll?
Outwit super senses. I can at least switch targets off a shape change.
All right. Do you talk to your dice or your figures? And be honest.
Figures sometimes, but usually just to pump the boys up. Oh no, I have a pair of dice I call the boys, because they have symbols on one, and I use them exclusively. So I talk to the boys.
Those
I'm
were
gonna let people borrow them.
those were a rock dice that
Oh, yeah.
had the symbols on the one. So when he rolls them, people are like, "Oh man, that's a crit hit!" And he flips them over. It's like, "That's actually a crit miss. Good job."
Yeah, it makes me think. Well, because I use them, so people will be like, "Dang it!" and they'll start going to click, and I'm like, "What are you doing? That's a one." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah."
All right, a movie is being made about you and your HeroClix career. What actor will play you?
Like a shaved Steve Agee. It's not going to be very good for me.
I don't know who this is.
John Economist.
Oh, oh.
Yeah. You shave that man, and you're going to put him in a what's it, shorts and a t-shirt, and they're going to go, hello, Drew, and no one's going to know the difference, and I'm going to be very sad about that because that man is like 50.
Is there a piece of HeroClick strategy advice that you ignore even though you know it's good?
be careful about which risks you take.
It's not
Sometimes I
always
just roll
the first attack that makes the game.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not the statistically likely one either.
All right. What is your most used phrase at the table?
Probably it's a this going into a this for this, which is it's this much attack against this much defense for this much damage. Because I try and do that for every attack, just because I want to make sure we're both clear up on all the different modifiers. Make sure both people have a chance to say like, I agree, these numbers are correct, and then we can double check. But either that or good luck, somewhere in there.
What's the last TV show that you binged?
No, what I didn't binge Peacemaker because I watched that weekly. I guess I started binging The Good Place, but I haven't gone back to it yet. I need to. It's good. So
It's a decent show.
I like it. It's been good so far.
All right. Do you have a motivational song or speech you listen to before a big event?
No, I think I usually am the motivation, so there's that. Scott's driven with me before, which is usually, all right, I'm going to be there. Everyone else is playing for second place. Good luck, everybody else.
Yes, I can vouch for that statement has come out of his mouth.
A lot.
Do you have any plans of coming to Red, White, and Clix next month?
If I had been given more advanced warning and things had fallen a little differently,
in like 6 months.
Huh?
So I'm only giving you like 6 months notice.
You did not give me 6 months, don't you? No, because I visited my brother back in June, and I didn't know about it then. I could swear like at most August. At most.
Nah, I've been talking about it. Okay, granted, I will give you the fact that we did not have a lot of conversations about RWC when we were prepping for states and then the CCO. So
yeah, because like if I had like enough advance warning, I'd have been able to try and move some things around. No, not at this point. Because I got to go visit my brother again in December.
So shame on Scott. Okay.
No. I mentioned. I know I mentioned.
Yeah, I want to go to every Clix event. That doesn't mean I get to. I'm an adult. I have
All right. Would you rather hear, smell, or taste colors?
Probably taste. Because then all I would ever taste is pink in theory. So I just hope it's not a bad taste.
All right. So the final question of the Clix questionnaire. I am a firm believer that the Clix community is telepathically connected, and that if Scott concentrates hard enough, he can transmit to you a thought. So he's thinking of a 3-digit number. It is a whole number, and he is transmitting it to you now. So if you just concentrate hard enough, you can hear his thoughts. What is his number?
The one in his mind.
Yes.
Yeah, the one in his mind.
Oh, that's not. What is the number?
They're numerical. They're Arabian.
In nature, yes, they are.
Yeah.
That is not the exact number.
Yeah. But
you give us 3 digits.
Scott, I can give you 3 digits. They're not going to be the digits you gave me because I can't let them into our secrets that you and I play games so much we actually are always talking mentally. That's the issue here. Yeah, every time we go to tournaments, we're both playing each other's games. Also, it's real rough. I have to watch my dice rolls go real bad when I'm playing a Scott.
So do you have a guess?
That's an incorrect number.
Was that?
I said those are incorrect numbers. Wes wants you to guess.
Incorrect number is 205.
That is correct on the incorrectness.
Yeah.
Well, Drew, that has been the Clix questionnaire. You survived it. You've endured it.
Right.
And now the entire Heroclix community that actually watches or listens to this show knows you inside and out, and they know how you click. How does it feel?
Like I should be back more often.
All right. Well, gentlemen, that's been Talking Clicks. I really appreciate being here. I love getting to know every player in the community. I love talking to you guys. I love uh, the community and getting to know you. Like that's what this show is about. Somebody was recommended to our show today because they were looking for something that was not the cookie cutter, super serious meta show. They wanted to just talk clicks, listen to clicks, talk players, and our show was recommended to them. And I said, "Yeah, check us out." And they listened to one show and they're hooked. So that's what we're all about. We want to be outside the meta, but still be somewhat educational and fun. So
Hey, since we got a few extra minutes before we have to cut out, Malcolm Rush asked a few questions the other day, and we haven't got to them yet. So if you've got time and want to get to them, we can.
sure.
All right, best, worst, and favorite of the different lantern cores, as a group, ring, or lantern or constructs. Which one is your favorite lantern core?
Uh,
Best, worst, and favorite.
favorite favorite is red. Red's the best core as far as I'm concerned. As for like most meta effective, the Sinestro ring is perplex, and there's no world that's not probably the best option of the ones they give you. The Indigo battery is the best of the batteries, and then as for the worsts, worst probably would break down to I think the white ring might be the worst ring because it just gives regen, and a regen turn can be very helpful and can also be very useless at the same time. And there are very few white lanterns that you really want to field that would get it for free. Uh, the worst lantern probably would break down, I think maybe orange, if I remember correctly. Um, and least interesting lantern is probably ultraviolet. 'Cause I don't even know about them. I'm sure there's some recent thing, but
Wes,
I
do
mean,
you have a take on this? Best, worst, and favorite of the lantern cores.
So I'm not that in depth of the legacy of them all. As far as Heroclix goes, probably white or yellow are my favorites in clicks. Um, I guess based on my limited knowledge of how they work in the comics, I would say I most closely relate to Willpower, um, the green one, and just my life motto is based off a quote from one of the Rocky movies when he's talking to his son after he's been retired for a long time, and he's giving a little talking to about being a quitter, and he's like, life is going to hit you harder than anybody, and life is about getting hit and keep moving forward. It's not about how hard you hit; it's how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. Keep putting that foot in front of the other and keep moving forward. And that has been my driving motto of my adult life is not accepting failure, not accepting defeat, and just charging forward. And I feel like that's kind of what the green ring represents.
All right, I will answer this. The best for me personally, play wise, is probably the Indigo. I love the old Indigo battery. I love the old Indigo entity. Just the whole aspect of the Indigo limiting to the range. What it does now, I could really don't know. Support maybe. Support is not the best power. If it's free, it's fine. White is probably the worst because you're taking that action for the regen, and then favorite, just favorite. Probably the Yellow Lantern core. I feel like they've dug deep into that core to just give you more life out of it. So, all right. Next question: best, worst, and favorite HeroClix character per core. Let's just limit it to your core, your character.
uh, either Guy Gardner or Atrocitus, obviously leaders. Worst character, I guess Des Trevius, because I don't know who that is.
I don't really have an answer for this. Hal is my Green Lantern just because that's the one I'm most familiar with because of the dreaded, horrible uh, movie that came out a few years ago. But um, I don't really know the range of characters well enough to really have a educated answer for this.
I have the best answer for this. Kyle Rayner.
You have the
For all
cop
of
out
them.
answer.
It is a cop out answer. Best, worst, and favorite.
Larfleeze exists. You can't. You're gonna tell me Kyle over Larfleeze for orange? Incorrect.
No, I like Larfleeze, but oh well.
Okay.
Best, worst, and favorite of the constructs. There's only 4 to choose from.
No, there's only one to choose from. Sword is the best. The worst is none of
Bats.
them. They all serve a purpose. But you get Smoke Cloud for free, basically. Like, you're gonna tell me that's bad? Oh, here's
It's
an
not
extra little
bad, but
thing for
it's
me to
just the
do.
worst. I would say bad is the worst. Uh, I
Until you
feel
put the
like
Bat
people.
Bystander on your team.
I feel like people are gonna say sword is the best, but I actually like the sound wave, and I like the chain.
I do like the chain.
Yeah, they're good. All of them are good. Sword is the best because of Ares. That's the reason Sword gets to one up all the rest of them.
I would say
Okay, which other?
this group of constructs is more niche than the BTU ones because the BTU ones were so just plug and play. These ones you actually have to call. You have to have a reason to call them in.
I disagree. I feel like the Batman ones, you had the boot,
Mhm.
and you had
Chainsaw.
what's that?
Chainsaw.
The chainsaw. Those were the
Yep.
2 that you went to for offense. If you had a little extra something you needed, maybe the fire hydrant.
Stop
That was
sign,
it.
Uh,
Stop sign is no longer a thing.
but it
It's dead.
which
was.
horrible.
Yeah.
Stop sign
It
should be
has
allowed. It should be present.
stop sign now has a grave marker on it saying RIP. It doesn't say stop. It says you're dead.
Also, catcher's mitt on a defensive team is a 17 gives out ESD.
I
There's that.
actually use the spotlight a lot.
What? Why? Just go in there and
Because he
punch
didn't
him.
have
You
the
don't
rest
need
of
to see him.
them.
Because I
He
was
didn't have the
very
rest of them.
range heavy at that time, and I forget exactly what it did, but it did something to help my range attacks.
Okay, so what
Uh,
construct pairs best with a Heroclix character?
I mean, the red chainsaw with the guy Gardner Chase that he made it with. You're gonna tell
Okay,
me
and
that's not
how about
absolutely
modern? How about
perfect?
modern?
Oh, modern.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think Red Lantern guy with the swords, either that or the either of the Guy Gardner like duo lanterns with either of the swords or however many. Just because I feel like that absolutely is like he lands in, just hits everyone that he can, and then drops more. And it's that like
I'm
outright
gonna say
aggression in the
anything
sky.
with the sword because Ares.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, the last question. Which core are you planning to build next and why? I'm building orange because I feel like I don't ever really play tentpole teams. So I feel like if I'm gonna build one, it's gonna be orange.
I guess technically Sinestro, but we've talked about that, Scott. It's not a Sinestro team, but it got some Sinestro in it.
Yeah. US, what you got?
I'm really digging the White Lanterns right now. I know I've
I
been
thought you got that out your system.
I don't know. I really feel like there's something there. I'm at the same time I'm really obsessed with the Prime Sinestro, but I'm starting to talk myself off that cliff a little bit. But I think as far as a fun team I want to build is White Lanterns. I think that will be the most enjoyable. I don't know if it'll do any good in a serious competitive event, but uh, I think it has potential there.
It will.
All right, and that's the end of Malcolm Rush's questions. Thank you, man from Japan, Malcolm Rush. Welcome to the show.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that has been Talking Clicks. Do you have any final thoughts for the evening?
That's on you, Drew.
White Lanterns absolutely will be like competitively viable, uh, because Superman at 90 points is a very good like piece, and you turn any Justice League theme team into the White Lantern theme team, and now he's healing someone every turn for a click. You throw him with like anything else that does some shenanigans, and all of a sudden, it's a real dangerous time to not just one shot every piece of your opponent's team.
Me, I look. We've been trying for this AA meeting to get started. Uh, I don't know what's going on on the AA part of it, but Wes and I are still here waiting for our AA counseling. So hopefully we get that AA rolling soon. And Hakuna Matata.
I had a quote in my mind that I was thinking about all day that I was going to use, and now I can't remember what it was.
Ah,
I hate
the
when it
sweet
happens.
isn't sweet without the sour.
Oh, too many doorways.
You know, the real world is a mess right now, no matter how you look at it. Heroclix is my escape from reality. It is my self therapy, and I feel like a lot of Heroclix players feel the same way. Um, so keep doing what you need to do for yourself. Make sure that you're okay, and just take care of yourself. If it's calling up a friend and just talking for a minute, or playing some Heroclix and just unplugging from real life for a couple hours, do what you need to do for yourself. That's my final thought. And come out to Red Night and Clix. Well, Joe, thank you so much for being here. I love getting to know you, Drew. You seem like a great guy, very knowledgeable. I hope to see you out there in the future if you can ever come all the way up from Texas. Love to see you. Scott, it's so disappointing in you.
What did I do this time?
You're not coming to see me.
I see you twice a week.
Oh, this
Too busy seeing me.
technology is not the same. Technology is not the same.
I know.
But
I know. You don't
As an
get to
IT man, mind yourself.
this is like phone sex. It's not quite the same as real thing. But I look forward to seeing you both sometime in the future. Rolling dice,
Yes.
shaking hands, giving hugs. But until next time, as always,
keep on Clixing.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, click, clack, roll 'em up, let go. Texas heat on the map, you already know. Delightful without the E, that's me. Drew Warren in the game, set your teams carefully. I'm that kid from the Lone Star, big brain, bow hard. Every piece I place, man, it's playing a part. Arcade in my corner, that mastermind flow. Trap 'em in the maze, then I steal the show. No luck here, this skill, this grind. Every turn I take, yeah, it's all design. Precision execution, calculated move. Click for click, I got something to prove. Without the life or without the E. Remember that name, Drew Warren on the board, redefining the game. Play it ruthless, clean and smart as can be. But I'll still be your friend when the match is complete. They love the life or without the E, that's legacy talk. Texas roots deep, yeah, I walk that walk. Mind of arcade, confidence supreme. Drew Warren in the zone, living the dream. Scott Johnson, my hero, yeah, I'm repping that loud. That's my mentor, that's my crowd. Study these bills, now I'm flipping the script. Turn one setups, all tactics equipped. You can't phase me, I'm cool, under stress. Turn two, turn three, I'm playing chess. Every piece in sync like a symphony sound. And when it's all done, I'll still dap you down. It's more than the clicks, it's the fam, the crew. The laughs, the lessons, the win, the lose. Respect on the board, that's rule number one. When the match is over, the beef is done. Back to the build lab, brainstorm again. Every loss just fuel for the next big win. Yeah, I'm young, but I'm playing for keeps. The life without the E, that name runs deep. It led the life without the E. Remember that name, Drew Warren on the board, redefining the game. Play it ruthless, clean and smart as can be. But I still be your friend when the match is complete. It led the life without the E, that's legacy talk. Texas roots deep, yeah, I walk that walk. Mind of arcade, confidence supreme. Drew Warren in the zone, living the dream. So when you see me roll, better bring your best. Cause I'm playing for fun, but I lace that test. Young champ rising, yeah, it's clear to see. I'm delightful without the E. I'm delightful without the E. It led the life without. I'm delightful without the E. Delightful. I'm delightful without the E.
It's a trap!